basically, it's a lot easier to deal with it if I'm in the middle of a job, and even if I have clients in the car, I'll get the quick text. I could briefly look at it at a red light or stop sign, and not have to be on my phone for 30 seconds, a minute, just to kind of get an idea of it. It pulls up the price, and I could just accept it, uh, press that second button once it pops up, and the client will get the quote right away. I don't have to wait half an hour, 45 minutes until I'm done with a client in order to go back and deal with it.
Yeah, no, love that. Because before, you get a lead in, right? And honestly, if you're an owner operator, it just didn't really work, right? It was just too, if you're driving someone, you can't, first you have to figure out how to quote them. You have to pull up a little snippet. You have to delete the little thing where it says price, right? It's not going to work, right? And that's kind of why I have this new build, was because, ironically, I have less small client, or I shouldn't say small, but like more clients that are still, in the field driving, right? And making it easy for them to be able to send a quote out, even if they're driving someone, right? Because as you guys know, people aren't going to wait around for like an hour on a black car quote.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. And so I was really, happy to hear that. Yes. I was just seeing if I could share my my little phone screen here. And by the way, whoever, like I said, we need new beta testers. So I think I might have mentioned this last time. I've worked out quite a few kinks since then. And Andre, you were actually on, I believe, you're our first client to use literally everything. A lot of little bugs were worked out, before you, but my other clients who are using it, okay, here we go. Let's see if I can share this real quick. Shoot, hold on. Let me stop mirroring. Let me see if this works, guys. Let me just share, present something else, entire screen. All right, let me try this. I'm curious if this is gonna work. I was doing this yesterday. Can you guys see my screen? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, isn't this cool? You gotta love iPhones, right? So I'm mirroring my iPhone. Maybe you can do this with Android. So anyways, this is what he was talking about. You pretty much, you get this lead in, and it's a text message as well, and it's got the suggested price there. You go approve, boom. Hopefully I don't have anything inappropriate on my phone. And then I hit that green button, submit suggested quote. That's it. That's how easy it is now. So, all right, I'm going to stop that share just in case, I get some text that would be really inappropriate. That would be a little embarrassing. So, yeah. And even if you're a larger operator who isn't using it on their phone and uses it in the desktop, we've made it easier for you guys as well. So anyways, that's pretty much it. For those of you who are down to get it rolled out to you, I thought last time, it looks like Andy. Okay, perfect. Hey, what's up, Andy? Let me just read your message. This is Andy with A to Z Luxury Limo. I wanted to share so Andy's out of Detroit, I believe, right?
That's right. That's correct. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to just read your, often we have clients who book rides on behalf of someone else. For example, a guest or secretary arranging transportation for their boss. I'm sure that happens all the time, right? It might be helpful to add a field that asks, are you booking for someone else? If yes, it could then request the passenger's name and phone number. This would allow us to have 2 points of contact, the person booking and the actual passenger, which can be very useful for communication service accuracy. Just wanted to share as a suggestion. I love that suggestion, Andy, and thank you for that. Yeah, so I love that idea, by the way. I want to, I'm definitely open to adding stuff like this in. What I usually like to do for things like this, if possible, is once they submit, because again, like what percentage of the question would be, what percentage of your ride would you say this would be something they would want to do? I guess that would be my question. Like what percentage? Because if it's less than, let's say, a quarter, then I don't think it's worth it to have an additional step that they have to answer. I guess it could be a field that's like not required.
It could be optional field, and the reason why I'm saying that, sorry guys, this is Sandy. Hey everyone.
No, go ahead, go for it.
Well, it's because often or many times, the main person who is requesting the quote, they might type in the wrong phone number, and then you do send them an email, but they never respond. So my suggestion was that we could have an additional number in case that was a wrong number. Reach out to the second number and say, hey, someone tried to request a quote, blah 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 blah, so on forward.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, if anyone else thinks, because look, it all comes down to kind of creating something that's going to be the most efficient for most people most of the time, right? And so I actually had way more fields. The form now, and I can, I might as well go over it again because, I know it's a lot of the same people on this call, but I'll just go over it anyways here. Oh yeah, one thing, okay, so this is Santa Cruz. One thing it does now, which I don't think it was doing when I showed this last time, is if they don't select something here, boom. See that? It forces it. Now you guys might be like, that's great. Limo Anywhere's had that for 20 years. So I tried to make this work back in the day on another form, and it killed conversion rates. Well, the beautiful thing is, I would say this form converts better than any form I've ever had. And hats off to Tim, who was his idea to do the one step at a time thing. Granted, this is technically 2 fields. I'll just make something up here, SFO. But I used to have other things. So date, time, passenger count automatically went to the next step, as you can see there. Vehicle. Now, for those of you watching this who don't have a vehicle field or vehicles, you're going to have them now. Everyone's going to have them. See, are you traveling for business? No. And then it just does name, phone number, and or name, email, and then phone number. And so I used to have luggage and a whole bunch of other, well, it was mainly luggage, and I had a few other things as well. But yeah, you just find if you have too many things, you can definitely, you get drop off. And that's not what I was, that's really what I was afraid of. Looks like Armando, oh, there's Tim now. Looks like Armando from SUV Seattle Services says, hey, Mark, it's so hard for us to find the right phone number or name. I think would be hard to have a second contact and number and name. I think that's not something I'd be interested in. Okay, well, so look, but thank you, Andy, though, for the suggestion. And this is what I just want to make sure everyone keeps suggesting stuff because there's going to be things that everyone wants, things that maybe a few people want, and the more suggestions, the better. So thank you, Andy, for this suggestion, and thanks, Armando, for that feedback there.
And Mark,
yeah,
this is Andre. I also had most of the times, if somebody's booking, if a secretary is booking for their boss or whatever, one of the CEOs, they're not going to want to give that CEO's information away, asking to like deal with booking their own travel. Like they're
Yeah,
booking
that's
for a reason, so they're gonna want to handle it. Getting that second phone number as a contact option would probably come down the line when you're finalizing that reservation, not when the reservation's being
right.
made.
Okay, okay. So that actually, I don't know. I didn't. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Okay. So 100% agree with you there. And yeah, that's more of a thing that we can collect, and we can try to make it easier, automate that somehow, like asking, if it's an airport transfer and they say it's for business, and they tick the business, this is a business trip. I can have an automation that goes out to them, says, hey, are you booking this for yourself or someone else, right? That might be the way to do it, because they've already converted at that point, meaning they've already given us their information. And so that might make more sense to do then. Chris Watkins said, do you have a secondary point of contact for the chauffeur to use on pickup?
That's what I use, and that works 99% of the time. When you detect that maybe it's a secretary or something like that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah. So the end client, that's a great idea. Just to be safe, essentially, right? So that, worst case, you can't get a hold
Yeah,
of.
because that way I'm wording it. It's not really for me. It's for the chauffeur to make sure you have a smooth transition with, that person. They have someone to contact, because clearly you're not the person that's going to be there for the pickup. So who is that person, and what is their name and number, basically?
Yeah, I love that. No, that's great. That's a great idea. I wanted to show you guys what the quotes look like here and show you what else is. Okay, cool. Let me do this here. Didn't want to show all that. Here we go. View document. So this is what they get. So when you hit the set custom price, or you accept the price that the automated quote thing generated, it sends an email that looks like this, and it sends a text message as well with a full quote. Now, if you have Square, Stripe, man, there's so many different payment vendors they have. It's wild. You can integrate, and I know a lot of you use like LA Pay or whatever, but let me just show you guys something. You can literally integrate all these different, granted, most of you probably either use Stripe or PayPal, well, actually Square is probably the most popular one I hear from all you guys. But what you can have is this quote it sends out, this formal quote. By the way, it can say anything here you want it to say. I can have that this be the first step, and the second step is a payment thing, right, where they pay right there. Or the second step is a credit card authorization, right? Or I don't know, do you usually do the credit card authorization after they pay? So it would be, second step would be credit card, third step credit card authorization, where they sign it. Now, keep in mind, that's not built out. We can easily connect your payment, whatever you're using for payments. That's completely doable. And I would suggest doing so if you're not using, obviously like LA Pay or whatever, and then you have to use theirs or whatever. But because it can just fully automate this piece to where you can collect payment. And then I mentioned in the school group, if you guys aren't in that, please join it. SKOOL. It's our little group where I make announcements and everything. I think many of you mentioned that a credit card authorization would be really valuable. I'm guessing a lot of you have had issues in the past with people doing chargebacks or whatever, especially if if you're doing sprinters or whatever, I mean, someone charging back $1,000 or something, that can be rough. So that might be something that we add on. It's really going to come down to what would help you guys out. And that's why I want to get more active in the school group, because look, this is really high level software. It's not my software, right? But it's software that, you know, I know pretty well at this point.